Hey guys, Sam Mac here, back with a quick Terra Battle 2 video. Today's going to be a quick guide on the differences between jobs. So there's four main jobs in Terra Battle 2. We've got your warrior class, which is kind of like your physical damage dealer. You've got your mage, which is your kind of spellcasters. And then you've got something called a spellblade, which is like a hybrid of the two. And finally, you've got a healer, which mostly just has healing skills. So we're gonna focus on the first three here because, well, we'll deal with healing another time. Um, so first off, what I want to show you is we have three main kind of characters are going to be your units we're going to use to demo here. We've got Anryu, who's our warrior, and you'll see on his little range band there, he's got a horizontal slash for his, and they've got really minimal equipment equipped here so that they don't do too much damage, so we can show a bunch of stuff here without having to switch in between fights. We've got Samantha, this is her RNA form, but she's got actually no weapons equipped because her second attack there has an automatic AoE around it, and that just helps us be able to see when her skills go off. And then finally we've got who I'm calling the Prawn, and because he's got a really long name, it's Anomalo and he also has a little horizontal AoE that we'll see come into effect. And yeah, so to start out, we're going to just attack with Unryu, so our warrior and our mage. So let's get everyone else out of the way here. And alright, there we go. So we're going to see a horizontal line when Unryu's abilities go off along the bottom. And then we should have seen kind of an explosion of ice happen around the shrimps. Let's move these guys out of the way more. And watch that again. So we'll see ice coming off where the bomb is, and we'll see a horizontal line along the bottom. The ice didn't proc that time, so let's try it again. Yeah, the ice is proc this time. So yeah, we saw the ice along the bomb and the horizontal line along the bottom. So this is one of the main differences between the classes, is where their AoE happens. So if we look at the warrior, you'll see in his range, it might be hard to see in the video, but in that very middle dot is blue, and that means the range is happening from him. So you'll notice that horizontal line is going along the line he's on. And this is the same thing with the Spellblade. So we'll show that real quick before we move on. You'll see Samantha's dot in the middle is blue, and if she were to attack, and we'll show this later on, the square will be around where she is, where her ability goes off. Conversely, the mages will have a red dot in the middle of their ranges. This means the AoE is going to happen from the target or targets that they're attacking. So you would have noticed from the bomb there was multiple lines of ice coming off. This is the same thing that'll happen if there's like 4 or 5 people in a line along. If you're doing a vertical line and your ice skill goes off and you have this horizontal one equipped, you'll see ice going, like 3 lines of ice going all the way down the line of them. So this is great for clearing boards. Having an horizontal modifier on a mage, especially if it's the full board, like the 3 dots on the side, is just awesome for clearing, and it makes mages better for the most part when AoE is concerned than other classes. So that's the first thing I want to show you. And not to say that AoE like around your character isn't useful, but in general, just because there's more chance of you hitting more spaces, the mage AoE is considered better by most people. So the second thing I want to show you is, so both of them were in the pincer there, and their abilities were going off. And that's true for all classes. So if you're in a pincer, let's show this again. We'll show it with Samantha because we haven't seen her attack yet. We'll see her. You should have seen a box of lightning go around her there. So again, it was centered on her, and it went off when she pincered. Now, to switch it up a little bit, we're going to put Ryu in a chain. So when Ryu's chained out here, his ability won't go off no matter how many times you try. This is only true for warriors. It's the greatest, I would say it's the greatest weakness of the warriors. They have to be the ones pincering the enemy, so on the edge of the enemy, for their ability to go off. So let's see that again, just to make sure it wasn't lucky that didn't go off. And we accidentally got Kenshin in there, but that's alright. So you see, we saw the lightning, we saw the ice, but no horizontal slash along the bottom. So, again, this is one of like the greatest weaknesses of the warriors. If we try if we try to put the prawn in the chain here, you'll see his ice attack will go off. We got unlucky that time; it didn't actually go off because it's only like a 50% or 80% chance of going off. But let's see, he's in the chain again this time, and okay, it is going to go off this time. And we saw the lightning, we saw the ice, and we saw the horizontal slash there because Ryu was in the pincer. So that's something unique to warriors, is that they can't be in the chain, or I guess they can be in the chain, and they'll still get attack on like the initial attack on the pincer when in the chain, but they will not proc any of their abilities. So they just makes them less flexible, unfortunately. And again, they already are losing the mages on the AoE. So not only is the AoE lost, but their chance of proccing their abilities is lower as well, just due to positionally. What was the third thing I wanted to show? The third thing I wanted to show had to do with how damage is calculated. So let's look at this for a second. The prawn here has 36 attack. So when we bring him in, actually we're gonna do Samantha and Ryu attacking first. So they only have 10 attack each. So when they pincer, and I'm only talking about the first damage here, like so before the skill thing. So we saw 9 and 7. So 9 and 7 were their attacks. Now, when we bring the prawn in, even though he's a mage, these let me get this guy out of the way. These first attacks we're going to see 60 and 8. So even though he's a mage, his pincer still benefits from physical attack. His other abilities don't. But everyone's pincer, even a healer, is determined by their physical attack. Not that you'd ever want to like stack physical attack on a mage, like it's not efficient, but it's worth noting that physical attack is always based on the physical. The pincer damage is always based on physical attack. So here we're going to look at the skill attack, and we'll see that even though Ryu has a higher magic skill, he's still only throwing out like 5 damage an attack, even doing the skills. So warriors specifically, their skills are only physical attack. So unlike mages, who at least get some kind of benefit from physical attack stat, warriors don't get any benefit at all. It never comes into play that their magic stat does anything, assuming they don't have someone kind of like heal their skill set. On the other side, we have the Spellblade. So let's just see the Spellblade attack again, and you're going to see 2 numbers pop up during the skill attack for the Spellblade. Her abilities are going off twice, so you'll see 4 numbers, but for each attack you'll see a gray number, and a yellow number because it's thunder. So there we saw a 9 for physical attack and a 3 for the lightning. Each one of those numbers is separately calculated based on physical and magic stats. So you have the option of stacking one or the other, but when possible, you might as well stack both. So with those hybrid weapons and stuff, those like the daggers, those are very good on spell blades. To show kind of a slightly different one, let's get Kenton in here, and you'll see on his, I guess we're gonna have both of them going, but you'll see brown numbers. So the brown numbers are Kenton's, the blue numbers like to represent earth damage. The blue numbers are the ice damage from the prawn, and yeah, and so the prawn, you'll see. Let's watch that again. The prawn's damage, the blue number, is going to be very low because its damage, the elemental damage, the colored damage, is always based on the magic stat. And that's kind of everything I wanted to say. So to recap, warriors and spellblades, their ranges are from the unit. Mages, the ranges are from the people they're attacking. Warriors can't proc their abilities from the chain. So let's just show that again real quick. If we put Kenton out here in the chain, we'll see brown numbers during the skill portion because his abilities are going off even though he's in the chain. And same with the mage. But if we set it up like it is right now, we won't see any of Unryu's abilities going off in the chain during the skill portion because warriors can't proc from the chain. And then lastly, I guess, is the gray numbers represent physical damage, and that'll be your warriors, and the physical portion of your spell blades. And the colored numbers always represent the magical portion of the skills. So whether or not it's just like the full skill from a mage or the magical portion of the spell blades attack. Hopefully I didn't make that more confusing than it is, but I just wanted to show in some demonstrations of it as well. Let's finish off this guy real quick with Jagos and see if we can capture him. We didn't get Negotiator proc there, so we might not. Alright guys, well thanks for tuning in, and feel free to ask questions. I know it's kind of confusing, and it might be easier to read than to see in the video, but I thought I'd try. And yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers.